Javier Flores. Carnivore police. Very messed up. Damn it. Oh shit. It's sprinkling. Let's go get some barbecue. Order de barbecue. In El Norte. Puro Norte. See if old Patty Sanchez is in there. Tiwas. Hey, apreciado. La bendiciones, carnal. Hello. What is it? Okay, let me do the three meat plate. Give me burnt-in brisket. What do you got? Like Polska kielbasa?
We have Polish sausage and spicy.
Give me the spicy sausage. And what other meat you got?
We have pulled pork, turkey, chicken, ribs.
The ribs, brisket, and the jalapeno cheddar kielbasa. Slice. Can you give me the burnt-ins? The burnt-ins? It's all right. Just slice brisket. Para aquí. For here. Can you do a jalapeno? The chili torreado? Can you do a jalapeno? Do you guys have any jalapenos? May I get one, please? Fried okra. And give me cabbage coleslaw. What are they barbecue? Chivo kind of grumpy. Hello, dude. Nick Nika. During the winter, I make my own menudo. Diego. It's too hot, man, for menudo. Hook me up. ¿Dónde? ¿Dónde vives? Alright, un momento. Hooking me up. I'm here in Seminole, Texas. Getting some barbecue. We're gonna switch it up. Chivo kind of burn out. I'm not really in the mood for menudo right now. Order a Modelito. You got beer? No cerveza? All right. Un falto, no cerveza. Maria. When it started. Saludo, Maria. Nica, Diego, Efren Garcia, Indianapolis. What a mess, the crude one. Arnolfo Gonzalez. No, soy no crudo ahora. Soy mucho trabajo. No más gasolina. Y hablas a mi jefe. Jefe, no más cargas ahora. Oh no, dos más. No, jefe. Oh, no, sí. But the other guys, Mikleo status, once again, get the higher paying, easier load, and they're already at home. So I'm getting tired of the Mikleo thing. I really am. My next company to work for is going to be White Boys. Sorry, Rasa, but I love you guys, but I'm done with the Mikleo thing, man. I'm serious. It's been every company I work for. Menudo for the crudo. Happy Sunday. Igualmente, Walter. Mormon hood. No. Soy pinche gringo, pinche polaco, vikingo. Saludo en México. Alejandro Fandoza, Pata 96 68. Saludo, bro. Thank you, Walter, por la Super Mario coin. Anyways, we're gonna get some barbecue. Youngsters in there laughing at me. She was grumpy. I told them no more gasolina, but no, 2 more loads. People want to push me to the fucking limit. Start busting out push-ups right here. How you doing, my Mexican brother? Good to see you doing good. Sir. Yes, please.
Did you want it large or small?
Give me the large, and you got pickles and onions over there. Good stuff.
No, we can give it to you right here.
Can you give me some, please? You guys don't have oh, okay, I see. All right, I got you.
It'll be $25.80.
One more thing. Good? All right. So thank you. Florida, Santos Juan, Georgia. Saludo, bro. De la Vacas. Why you change your name? Eric Voodoo, 420. First of all, ¿dónde estás? Where you at, Colonel? I could use one right now, but changed my name because before I was Chivo Guero, I was Vegas Outlaw. My other channels are Piro Paisa. This one used to be Tambien, but YouTube fucked me. I even showed that little highlight in that Vivo explaining why. And then the protesters turned on me at last summer. So I said fuck it, fuck everybody. We're just gonna make this one a little more American. Thank you. And still exploring La Cultura, but this one's gonna be more for everybody. All races, all countries. So I changed it back to Vegas Outlaw. I kind of missed that name, tell you the truth. I wanted the Mexican name. They gave me one. Chivo Guero, I'm proud of that too. But for this channel, more Mas Americano, okay, Facebook and TikTok. So that's why I did it. But I'm over here, Dickie's Barbecue. It's been a while. They have, I think this is a chain, right? They have them all over the countries. I'm tired. I'm not crudo or nothing. But let's get some tea. I know you're watching me, Mr. Lakis, over there sitting in your AC home. Motherfuckers. I might be moving back to Vegas sooner than everyone thinks. Mexico, they lost to Ecuador? Oh shit, mi Ecuatorianos. You tagged up mi Mexicanos. ¿Qué pasó? America, USA got a loss too, right? To a South American team or something? So, well, even with one loss, you can still make it to the finals, right? It's a tournament? Or no? No likes? I must be fucked up. Simone, or yes, excuse me, I'm in Seminole, Texas. Dickie's Barbecue. We got some Plastico sweet tea and a 3-meat tres carne plato. Hola, amigo. Honolulu? Get out of here, Clayton. I'm gonna need some proof. Aloha. Outlook, Washington, Jorge. Nehemias Lopez. So, little bro. Lone Wolf, what's happening? Get some grub on me. I'm kind of being grumpy right now. Maybe I'll catch my second win. Get some barbecue. It's too hot out to eat menudo. No menudo ahora. So we're gonna switch it up. Now that's Texas barbecue right there. Let's get some barbecue sauce. I wish they would make a pant size 37. That'd be perfect. Because 38 is a little too big, 36 too tight. My confidence will go through. I get chon left and right. If they made 37s, you love brisket. I like the burn-in brisket, but they're gonna younger help over here. They don't sabe. But if you guys are in San Antonio or Austin, True Hill Country Barbecue, order burnt-in brisket and smother it with their house barbecue sauce. Thank me later. All right. Spicy, sweet. Spicy's not always the best. First off, it's not that spicy. And it's about the taste. It's barbecue sauce. So let's taste the spicy. Not bad. Sweet. Sweet's pretty good. And original. Got a tart taste. That sweet's the best. Sweet's pretty damn good. We'll do half spicy, half sweet. How about that? Anyone else catch the fever watching Indiana Fever? My parents got me into it. And those white girls, they kick some ass out there. We're starting to fight back. In a lesbian league. Alex, thanks, bro. Chavo, I prefer sweet. Yeah, sweet is the best. It's got more flavor. And it's just better. It's barbecue sauce, not salsita. But I agree. Great minds think alike, carnal. Vámonos. From Chile. Sudamericano en la casa. Sudamericano. Yeah, you guys are kicking ass. You're smacking that narguas in the World Cup, right? Didn't one of your countries beat the USA already? Paraguay or something? I forget. Too much sun. Come here. Can you guys turn that up? Can you turn it up? The music? No? Where's the adults at? Walter, not in H-Town, no. Well, yeah. You are in my Camino. We go to, not quite H-Town, but it's Sugarland. There's a cement plant over there. So we hit Katy. Right when you start getting into Katy, you make that right, that loop that goes down to Sugarland. I think it's Thompson, Texas. Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, I appreciate it. We got some Texas Hill Country barbecue. Guitars, Cadillacs, and hillbilly music. Don't make me start doing karaoke. 1993, Classic Country Karaoke Champ. Long Beach, California. Con Zacatecas Sangre, órale. Saludos. Cadillacs and hillbilly music. You tricked them? Oh, JFK. Did you eat Mexican food today? No, I haven't really ate nothing. What did I get? A croissant at the Stripe or at the Allsups. Yes Way or whatever in Andrew or I'm loopy right now, guys. I'm tired. Piquito Gasolina in Brownfield. But no, I haven't eaten. It's too hot to eat menudo. I was gonna do Seminole, give them a grande saludos over here at Salsa's, but they're closed. It's Cerrado. But fuck it, we'll do some barbecue today. It's too hot to eat caldos anyways. Lovington, Raduno, Saludo, bro. For the summer, I miss what was said. Some whiskey? No, just some good old-fashioned tea. Not sweet tea. I put the plastic sugar in there, but iced tea hits the spot. It's not called iced tea. It's called unsweet or sweetened. No, I'm from Arizona. I'm from Vegas, all right? It's called iced tea. Say Grotto again. What does Grotto mean? You guys don't fuck with me today, please. You live in Mariana? Diana? Salcedo. Hola. I'm over here in Seminole, Texas. Give me some bonito. Woo, those onions. Fried okra. Can we get someone that's not fresh out of high school over here? I turn up the music. This is your guys' chance over here at Dickie's. I can help your business. I can come back and even make a better video. Show a little love. Over there with music in their heads. They don't listen to me and they're laughing at me and shit. So Nogales, Arizona. The Grinch. Cordiales. 7351. Desde Seminole, Texas. Oh, Cerrado. Oh, talking about the salsas. Cerrado. Gracias por la corrección. El corrección. Yeah. I will hit that salsitas or salsas. Mucho gente habla same. Bueno, check it out. It's muy rico. Muy rica. La Finiquera? Old Ralph Fernandez? ¿Dónde en Phoenix? Jacksonville, Florida? Gracias, Maria, por el apoyo. And if I see it first, I'll block him permanently. She's nice. Hello, good afternoon. Buenas tardes. Old Philly Mendoza. Cool. Oh, shit. Got some Texas barbecue. Billy Lowe. Mary, nice to see you. I'm doing all right. Need a break. Tomorrow I'll get the day off. And then this next weekend, 4th of July weekend, I'm taking a couple days off. I don't care what he says. You can fire me if you don't like it. Someone else could be the mayate. I'm tired of the Mikleo status. I love you, Rasa, but I am a white boy. In the end of the day, I'm a white boy. It's been proven. Santa Cruz, Carlifas. Diana, please subscribe to your channel. Vegas 202. What are you trying to steal my highness? ¿Qué pasó, bro? Yeah, I'll be able to take some time off. I will. Greetings from Chuco, El Paso, with Joey Flows. You got me some Hill Country Barbecue over here at Dickie's. That's how Santa Claus does it right there. Seminole, Texas. It's not bad. Pretty good. You were born in East Los? Que tranza, bro. Yeah, saludos a la raza, East Los, Commerce, y La Parcas de Los Angeles, all the rest of the parks over there. Rambo, Orange Grove, California, much love. Joel Martinez, that's your handle, Rambo? Okay, well, bro, Google it. If you had Heavy's Barbecue in Hondo, no, I can't say I have. You know, I explored Castroville. I used for about a year, un año. I lived in that far west side of San Antonio, right there. I think they call it I don't know, I forget. But Castroville was right there. And the San Antonio River went around that loop. It was 1604, that far west side, on your way to Castroville and Hondo. I did go through Hondo a few times, but I explored Castroville. There was an old redneck bar out there. It was pool tables. The Bandidos would show up there all the time. And I heard originally they're from around Hondo. I got a story. And this was young, when I was early 30s. And I was kind of buff, you know, a lot of construction. Tile setter, I was in shape. And I got drunk. And they came in, and it was right after they killed, one of their members killed that boxer in San Antonio. And I went in there, I was talking shit. Hey, what happened with that boxer? And then they were all quiet, wouldn't give me time. So I was sitting over there playing pool, and I was being a drunk ass. And I kept making like little comments, little stabs, talking shit. And they wouldn't react. I couldn't get them to react. You know, looking back, they showed me some mercy. They could have fucking beat the shit out of me. There was a lot of them. But I was pretty ballsy back then. I had the muscle to back it up. Not so much these days. You got to do it with character. But lack of respect these days. You know, I regret when I was younger not having more respect to the older guys. Because it doesn't feel good, you motherfuckers. But yeah, when I was big, I had the muscles bulging, big shoulders. No one really fucked with me. I was spoiled. I pretty much got my way. Now you got to use personality. I wish I could understand what he's talking about. What is that? Rusia? ¿Hablas español? Yo vivo en el oeste. Yo vivo en San Antonio por 15 años. 02 17 2017 y mucho más Goria. Mi español. Mucho más salud. Poquito años. Soy viejo ahora. And mucho construcción. No gordo troquero. Y en un cantina con la bandidos. En Castroville, Tejas. Yo soy borracho. Y mucho boca caca. Bandidos. And bandidos, como say mercy, showed some mercy on me. They didn't react, you know. But anyways, maybe they respected me for being ballsy. But there you go, una historia de Castroville. Las Kings, Creepanato, all right. Or the Chivo, next time you're in Hondo, go to Heavy's. I'll check it out. What's your favorite restaurant in the Bay Area? I've really explored the Bay Area. Try to get in and out. There's a lot of traffic, you guys. I'd rather drive in LA than the Bay Area. There's a high. You're pinched in there. It takes forever, you know. San Jose, going up, and then if you go into South San Francisco, that's almost better than going through the other way, Oaktown and all that. San Leandro, Hayward. I used to do cabinets. I used to hit all those stops, and then later, doing produce, used to hit the Costco's on the San Francisco, South San Francisco, and then San Jose. But all those cabinet places were like San Leandro, and Hayward. And that's the only place I've ever been shot at as a trucker, by the way, over there by Oaktown. And it wasn't even a gangster. I parked a homeless camp, and I butted in. There was a little canal where their little Camino was, and I guess they didn't like that. And pop, and right over my side mirror, hit a whizzing by me. You know, they gave me a warning shot, like trying to scare me off. Hey, don't park here. And, you know, I fucking just rolled up my windows, locked the doors, and I stayed there anyways. The next morning, there was no bowl of holes or nothing. But as far as the comida, I hit a lonchetta. I forget the name of the town, but if you're going on your way out, like you're gonna go up to 80, and I hit some lonchettas over there, but not San Francisco. Xander, what's up, bro? I could have swore I turned off the kids thing. You know, if you're under 18, you're not allowed here. And if you're a grown-ass man talking like that, then you got some problems, you guys. If you don't like me, don't watch me. It's that easy. What's wrong with you? You spending your time watching someone you guys don't even like. It's pathetic. It really is pathetic. Look at yourself in the mirror and you'll see the definition of pathetic. Richard, Schneider, Xander. You still work in East LA doing gardening? Eric Voodoo, hola. I'll eventually do produce. I'm tired, you guys. I was burnt out. I told my boss earlier, you know, just, you know, one load. I don't even want to do that. No, two. And here the other guys are. They're not as tired. They can bitch complain all they want. They're not as tired as, and they got the higher paying, easier run, and only one load. See, I'm kind of pissed off right now. I might be going to Vegas sooner than everyone thinks. I'm done with the Miklio bullshit. I love you, Rasa, but at the end of the day, it's been proven I'm a white boy. Good food in Yuma? Yeah. Maybe I did it on YouTube a couple summers, 2 summers ago. Not last summer, but the summer before. And if you're a trucker, they got some taco trucks and lonchetas right on location at those big produce places. It's real handy. But yeah, if you go deeper in the Yuma, there's quite a few places. And I forget the names, but there's quite a few places in Yuma. They're pretty good. Sonoran, Mexicans from Sonora have some of their own things. I forget the names, but they got their own kind of burrito. Some other stuff, like how Chihuahua has montados, which is like Chihuahua, they love their quesadillas. Montado is like a quesadilla on steroids. And you got some other stuff too. But Sonora's got their own stuff. There's some good stuff down there. Tucson as well too. A lot of Sonoran taco trucks. And they got the best, Sonoran's got the best macheca, the dried carne seca. And you put it on top of eggs and stuff. It's like real fine shredded carne seca. I was trying to think of the word in English, but there isn't one. It's not like beef jerky. Carne seca is like dry beef and they shred it. So it's kind of like beef jerky, but it's not. Mary Falcon. Hola, Feliz Domingo. Austin, Texas. Gonzalo Martinez. No minuto ahora. Mucho calor. So we're doing some barbecue. With a sweet tea. Get a chance, people, try Lund's Barbecue in Junction. Way better than Cooper's. Lund's you got it. And I do go through there a lot. Thank you. Juan, love your videos. I appreciate it. Shout out to you, Chivo Alex from Yuma. Taylor Farms, yeah. I hit Taylor. I hit all those. Most of them. But I did a lot of Taylor back in the day. I'll be there again. Give me another year or so. Yata hey. What's up, Danae? Over there in Salt Lake City. Davidson Washburn. Now that's a Native American name right there. Miss you guys. Te extraño. Respects from Arisa? Or from Arizona? Let me know, Alex. 10-4, you got it. Perla Moreno. Hola desde the IE. Where we at today? Hey, what's up, Rasa? Over there in IE, that wood pile. Come on. I'm over here in Seminole, Texas. Get me some Texas barbecue. And it is Texas Hill Country style. You see them all over. I think there's a big chain, the Dickies. You see them all over the country. They're growing pretty big. But, you know, for a big chain, it's pretty damn good for Texas Hill Country style. Michigan. Oh, for Phoenix. Oh, Joe. That's not a Joe Arpaio reference, is it? He still owes me some rec time, man. I never told you guys I was in Tent City. I had long blonde hair, like a surfer. And that was Joe Arpaio's prime, mid to late 90s. And if you go in one of his jails in Maricopa County, I've been in all of them. The Horseshoe, the city, county, and Tent City. Same thing with Vegas. I've been in Henderson, city, and county in Las Vegas. I've been in every jail I've ever lived in except for, well, no, I was in Bexar County too, in San Antonio, except for in Hobbs. I stopped that cycle about halfway through that marriage in San Antonio. I was always in trouble. And I did not like the government. It's not that I was a badass. I did not like the government. I wasn't going to pay for insurance. I wasn't going to give them a dime. They put me in prison. They fucked me in my mind. So that was my way of getting them back, not giving them a penny. And you know, sooner or later you get pulled over, but eventually I had to go back and turn myself in for all those. But anyways, back in the day, when I got out of prison, the Penta, I was in a hood called the Square. And they picked me up. I actually did a bear run. I got caught. So I was with some buddies, some old rednecks, and we're all out of money. And I'm like, man, I wish we had some beer. I said, you guys want some beer? Pull over to this gas station. Pulled in there. I come out with 2 big cases. And I didn't look and see the cop pulled in while I was in there getting fuel. So I come out, and the black dude in there, Gringo's there. He's like, hey, hey. And he's yelling because he knows the cops are there. He just took beer. And the cops got him running. I was like, oh, shit. So I run in the car. I throw him in the window. The dude, I'm all, scoot over, and I start driving. He has this, like, old Ford Pinto. And I tried to outrun the cops. So I'm going. The cop is running to me. Almost hits the door as I'm going away. And the other cop car comes and picks him up. And they were on me. And I'm sitting there trying to floor it, doing 55 and stuff. I went out in the desert on a motorcycle trail. And they were pissed. So I finally stopped. And there was a woman that was driving it. Women cop are the worst, you know, because they got to be more macho than the men. And she had her gun shaking in my face. Freeze! It's like, dude, stop shaking. I'm not a dude, I'm a lady. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, man. But I did a little few months for that. It wasn't a felony or nothing. They tried to get me for hitting the officer. He said that I tried to hit him, which was bullshit. You know, he just mad because he couldn't catch me. He almost had the door handle, but I pulled away right at the last second. Even his own sergeant knew it was bullshit. He's like, no, we're not doing that. So all they get me for was a beer run, shoplifting or some shit. But anyways, they sent me to Tent City. I had long blonde hair. And if you don't cut your hair when you go in the Joe Arpaio system, you get thrown in the hole. So I put it back there. I put my shirt like that. They give you a hat. It's Tent City. It's 120 degrees, so they give you a cap. I had that thing on. And right before chow time, I lasted about 3 hours before they saw me. And a cop came, a CO came. Hey, you got long hair. Get over here. And they took me to this old lady. And she put out the clippers. I said, no, you're not cutting my hair. And she said, okay, you're throwing in the hole. I said, whatever. I ain't cutting my hair. So I did like 60 days in the hole. And then they released me. I went right back to the Square. I got a scar. You can't see it because I got a beard. Fighting for bunk space in the Horseshoe. I think that's the city jail. I can't remember if it was Maricopa County or city, but they call it the Horseshoe. And they put me in with all the blacks. Somebody got to come sit right next to me, dude. And I was on the top bunk and I had to pee. Only white boy in there. And as soon as I got off, this big black dude jumps on my bunk. I was like, hey, dude, what's up? Oh, yeah? What's up? And he jumps off. And all the other dudes get up with him. And I'm too nice. I wasn't taught, they're trying, black dudes like to wear sandals. And that's your chance. When they fumble around with their sandals, that's your chance to go stick it to them. And I was taught, it's just a different culture, I guess. I don't know. But I'm too nice. So I let him get it ready. Let him put on his shoes. The same courtesy is not given the whites. And I did pretty good. I was swinging. I was on the street at that time. It's pretty skinny, sucked up. But he caught me right here. He didn't beat me up or nothing, but he did catch me one time, and it split me right here. So the cops all come in, the COs all come in. And so we break up. They take me out because I had a gash. So they went and put like the plastic thing on there, and they're like, you want to press charges? I'm like, no. So they took me back to the pod, the same room. And they all get up. They see me at the door, the COs. And they all get up. And I was going to have to fight all of them this time. And I was ready. And when the CO was coming, they were all laughing at me, pointing at the bunk. Like, see? And I went like this. And I was ready. And they respected me. It's like, man, this white boy, he's ready. So they all stopped making fun of me. And there was all the woods on the other side. And they were cheering the whole time. Hell yeah, all right, white boy, blah, blah, blah. They're all proud of me. Then the seal, right before they opened the door, another seal, no, not that one, the other one. So they put me in with the whites. But I've had quite the history in Phoenix. I'm trying to keep it down. I got another customer coming in. Maricopa called the Matrix now. Right on. The horseshoe was Maricopa. Oh, Joe, right on. Yeah, back then, I think I told you before, but they give you Labo bags. Gracias for the Super Mario coin. Thank you. If you were a kid in the 80s or 70s, there's a show called Wallace and Lambo. A really good show. Wallace was actually Lambo, the tall one. He was actually played in the NFL. But that was back when Ernest Goes to Camp. He lived in Arizona a long time. He used to do RC Cola commercials. The good guys at K-Lil. And there was a Earnhardt Dodge. The original Earnhardt guy. He died a long time ago. I guarantee you, this ain't no bull. And he'd sit on top of a steer in front of the Earnhardt dealership. Meekum, remember Governor Meekum? He was the same thing. He used to be a Texan. And he had a couple lots over there. And he actually made governor. And then they got caught doing something illegal. And they canned his ass. Took the governorship away or something like that. But anyways, I got sidetracked. Wallace and Lambo was a good gracias for this. Thank you for the star. Wallace and Lambo, I grew up with that shit. And they had these things called Lambo bags. And then the Lambo bags full of candy bars and chips and stuff. So we for sack lunches, we used to call them Lambo bags. Anyone from Arizona back in the day, you knew what a Lambo bag is. And it would be an orange, a bologna sandwich, and a bag of chips. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner when you're in the county. At least the ones where I was at. And pinchy Lambo bags. And Joe Arpaio with the pink underwear and stuff. It was stupid. But he actually, thank you for the, what is that, a daisy or a rose? Joe Arpaio did a lot of things just for the publicity. He did it just to be more from. If there was social media back then, he would have been perfect for it. He would have blew up. Everything was for publicity. So he went and got this on sale, a really good deal, and all this ostrich meat. And he thought, yeah, I'm feeding the inmates ostrich. We're gonna fuck them down. It's actually a delicacy. That one was stupid. He looked stupid a few times. Joe Arpaio was a piece of shit, you guys. A lot of people, including my parents, think he's a legend. He's a piece of shit. He got real lucky. He didn't go to prison. He got lucky he got pardoned. But he's a hypocrite, is what he is. But he used to do these things with child support. If you're backed up on child support, they used to have, I forget what you call it, the roundups. And they would go around Phoenix and round you up. They'd find out, and they'd go to your house, and they'd arrest you. Just way too... Gringo's here. God But a little too hardcore, a little too conservative. Arizona hasn't changed. Even when they voted blue, it's still ultra conservative. Good luck trying to fight a ticket in Arizona. Flagstaff, you got state police and Flagstaff state police. Flagstaff has its own state police. During the Blitz week, stay away from Flagstaff. You got about 4 or 5 different agencies out there trying to not just make it safe, but they're trying to stick it to you. That's the thing about Arizona. It's not about correction. It's about just trying to fuck you over. And I did my time, and it's the redneck way. That's just how they are. I grew up around them. I know exactly how they think. A little too self-righteous for me, but let's go. Get out of here. But I survived all that. I never went back to prison after the late 90s, around 99. I was starting to get hot in the square. I was running around the Paisas, and the mafiosos knew my name. And I stole a Jeep Grand Cherokee. I was really proud of that. It was a nice one. I used to park it right by the Capitan's little apartment over there, where all the mafiosos and the El Senor was over here. And I walked back to go get it one night. I would sneak in there, and one of the capitans walked out. Hey, Guero, this your truck? I said, yeah. He said, don't park it here no more. And by the way, the police were here, and he said my real name, asking for you. And I was like, how the fuck did they get my real name? So I was getting hot. It was time to go. And I think a few nights after that, I knocked on the El Senor's window, the back window of his apartment. I said, no más aquí, mañana viaje a Las Vegas. And I was kind of burned out. It was time to go. And I left with the El Senor's, I left that video with the El Senor's blessing. He put his hand on my shoulder. I never heard him talk English before. And he said, Guero, you are a good man. Good luck to you, or what suerte, or something like that. And I left with his blessing. I'm really proud of that, by the way. Someone messaged me. Hold on. What's up, Guero? Music? Google it. Get my pants. You know what? I got some Texas barbecue over here at Dickey's, Seminole, Texas. Starting to feel better. Get my energy back. You're a good man, bro. Joe, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Phoenix? I lived there before I went to the Pinta, too. I grew up in Mojave County. I got in big trouble. I think it was a junior in high school. Yeah, my junior year. I was 17. And they're fucking around with me in the court trying to prolong it so I turn 18 so they can stick it to me, because that's how Arizona does it. I listened to my lawyer like a dummy. He talked me into signing away my rights as a juvenile. I had a co-defendant who rolled on me. If I ever commit felonies like that again, I'll never be with a co-defendant. It'll be by myself. No one will ever know about it. And I suggest you guys do the same thing. But anyways, they made him the good guy, me the bad guy, or like he deserves a second chance. He was like 7 months younger than me, and I'd never been in trouble before. But anyways, they try to make an example out of me, and they gave me like my parents were teachers in a small town, Mojave Valley, so they gave me probation, facing 5 years. They tried to give me a lot of felonies. I pleaded down to 2 felonies running concurrent, which means if you do time, it's not consecutive. If you get 10 years, they can only give you one sentence, 5 years. So 2 at 5 years apiece, you only do 5 years, not 10 years. That's what concurrent means, running concurrent. So it gave me probation. I just wasn't responsible enough to pass, but there was no way. And I moved to Phoenix one of the last times. And I remember I went there before I went to prison. I lived in Phoenix twice. And that was early 94, 93, when the Diamondbacks inaugural season. They just built that stadium. And I remember that. That was big stuff. And the Suns would play it at the Madhouse in McDowell. You used to go to the Arizona State Fair. The best corn dogs I ever had, Arizona State Fair. I even seen the Texas Tornadoes as a kid. Before all that, my parents, Phoenix was closer than LA. Vegas was closer than all of them, but we were Arizona people, so we go to Phoenix a lot. And I seen the Texas Tornadoes when Wasted days and wasted nights. What's his name when he was on that band? So that's old school right there. That was late 80s. Always serve your case. Always sever your case. You don't have. Always sever your case if you have co-defendant. That's right, Joe. I was young and dumb. My parents were conservatives. You know, my dad. You better tell them the truth. You know, that's the kind of people I'm from. I'm from the far right, which was stupid. You know, Mexicans, they'll deny everything. They'll deny it even at 60 years old, 40 years later. But I wasn't taught like that. I told myself, you know, I listened to my parents. Like, I'd never been in trouble. I was in over my head. I said, yeah, I did this, I did that. I messed up, willing to do my time. My co-defendant was in there. No, I didn't do this. He did that. Oh, man, he was really trying to get out of it, pointing everything at me. And I didn't do that back. I didn't know he was doing it. We had an agreement before we went down. We were sitting together as we were getting booked. We talked about it. He's like, what are we going to do? It's like, you know, let's just tell the truth. We went over ahead. He's like, okay, we agreed on it. He didn't stick to that. Never again with a co-defendant. And never again, trust me, I would do it a lot different. I was a kid. I didn't know any better, but you're from Florence? No shit. Greetings to Florence. I had a 120 number when they first came out. I remember getting in there. 120 numbers just came out. It was like mid-90s, I think, early 90s. And I remember people making fun of me. You got a 120 number. But man, I just barely missed that 1199 number. From Saludos desde Apodaca, Nuevo León. Con la cerveza, órale. Salud, bro. Saludos. What is my goal with social media? YouTube was to make money. YouTube pays 4 times as much as the other ones. And like the highlight Vivo I did, go check it out. I explained it. YouTube sabotaged me, and they came out with that AI speech thing, and I had a Mexican national audience, and it really screwed me. Because first of all, I talk Spanglish. I'm not fluent, and I was making a lot of money, a lot of views. I was already famoso before I started the YouTube. I had like 700,000 on TikTok, and just with only 50,000 on YouTube, I was making as much as I was on TikTok. And I never really capitalized it on TikTok. That social media was more about having fun. I didn't intend on growing. I was determined to get viral videos. I knew I could make a good video. And I was determined to do it, and I did it in multiple cultures. I've gotten over 1 million views on every social media back then. But my goal with YouTube was to make the money. And it was easy until they did that. And then when Trump got elected, the second time, all that stuff was going down in Bakersfield with ICE and the protest. I'm eating some Texas barbecue. And I made a video before all the other gringos did with the Hispano audience. That wasn't good enough. The Raza down in LA and in South California, they wanted more. They didn't want me to they wanted me to 100% do political posts. And no, I don't do that. Just me doing what I'm doing now. Not so much on YouTube anymore. It's a lot more American. But when it was the Puro Paisa channel, I broke down a lot of walls on both sides. You know, whites were opening up. And on the far right where I come from, you know, I'm not some liberal from LA. And I actually come from the Joe Arpaio crowd. And I've done a lot of work. I've done a lot of help for the Raza. Whites are still the majority. You know, we kind of need each other. We got to live with each other. I was really proud of that. And people way down in the Chimichanga, Guero, you talk Espanol like I talk English. You make me want to learn more. And then it grew to Central America. You know, a redneck. I'm not really a redneck, but you know, I've come from them. But I broke down some barriers the last 6 years. I'm really proud of that. But the protesters pissed me off. last summer, and I said, "You guys already made a video." Oh, no, here he is making another food video. My people are under attack. I said, "Your people? You're a Chicano. This is my channel is for immigrants. This is the Paisa channel. Come at me with that shit. Oh, you racist, man. Oh, they came at me. Then I made a video with the Dukes of Hazzard and the rebel flag. They're calling me David Duke. Oh, man. I said, you know what? Fuck you guys. And I just said, fuck it. We're going to make this channel more American. And I even deleted my Instagram, 250,000, because of that, the politics. But I truly believe that Trump didn't intend to take ICE that far. He's doing what his voters ask him for. And I believe that you protesters over there in LA brought heat on my immigrants. And I'll tell you, I said this many times on this video, on lives, that I'll tell you exactly what my people were thinking in their head when they seen all that stuff going down. A sea of Mexican flags, not one American flag. And a white boy going in there with an American flag. Yeah, he was a Trumper. But, you know, he had a lot of balls. He was a teenager. He was mixed, too. He was brown. And he goes in there with American flag. They beat the shit out of him. That pissed me off. And I wasn't going to rep that. I'm not going to rep that Parte de la Raza. And they couldn't throw one American flag in there. And the far right, I tell you what they think. It's like, how could we be so soft? How could we let all these people in here that hate us and hate our country? Trump, send them back and send their whole family back with him. That's the kind of what Trump was getting on a daily basis, his base. So I believe you guys not you guys, but the protesters put heat on my immigrants. And wasn't even immigrants out there for my whites listening. Those are called fools, fucking shit up. In the parks of LA, Bakersfield and all that, they weren't even immigrants. The sad thing is, since you guys took me out of the game, the immigrants get caught in the middle. You guys lost a voice. You know that other guy, what's his name? The liberal white guy from LA. He's preaching to the choir. I brought a whole different audience of whites, the ones that matter. Liberals, you just, all you're doing is pumping up their pride. You're not making a difference. You're not breaking down walls. I was a wall breaker. I was a true buffer between races. And you protesters took me out. And I still say fuck you. You're not wanted here. I got nothing for you. And you did a lot of damage to my immigrants. So I'm still sticking to my guns. You're not welcome here. That's why you see the little haters, the little gay comments and shit. Avondale, it's a little bro. You're over in Avondale? Avondale's Little Paisa, man. You don't miss over there. A lot of good spots over there. Mexico deports many people. They do. Now, I don't know if Trump surpassed Obama, but the left's beloved Obama has sent more immigrants, legal immigrants, back to their own countries than any other president in history. But you know, he's Obama, so you know the thing about the right, it's a double standard. You guys, I'm not a conservative. You know, yeah, I lean Republican. If Republicans would change their tune on Mexico, this used to be part of Mexico. There should be a special relationship, not treated as enemies. Mexico, you don't help by beating the communism drum. You know, China, all that, you know, communists and stuff. It's hard to defend that when you guys don't like America, when, you know, politics over politics, so you turn to China. And it's hard to defend that, but you guys get your papers straight. It's a two-party system over here. When the Democrats are in office, that's your chance to take care of your paperwork. That's your chance to come over here. We have a soft system, a soft border, and your chance to get your propelli straight. It's hard to defend you when you've been here 30 years and you still don't have your papers straight. And I got people close to me. You know, I'm not saying that to hate. I'm trying to give you guys advice. You got to take care of it, and don't resent Whitey. When you finally get caught, they send you back. But the thing is, I root for you when Democrats are in office. That's your chance. I don't hate. And a lot of other whites are like that too. But you vote in Democrats, they hurt our country in other ways. It's not, the world doesn't evolve around whether your papers are straight or not. We have a soft, you guys like them, you know, illegals like them because it's a soft system. They're bleeding hearts. and but they're soft with everything else too. China, Russia, these other big countries, big powers making moves out there. This is 2026. We need someone a little bit stronger. I'm very proud of a lot of things that Trump is doing. I'm not a Trumper, but you guys, just because you didn't get your president elected doesn't mean let it all burn. Fuck them, let them all burn. You know, no, I'm not repping that anymore. That part of Rasa. I'm very proud American. I'm very proud of La Cultura Mexicana. That's growing into Central America, y mis Sudamericanos. And I want everyone to have the American dream. Unfortunately, it's just not, it's impossible. Not everyone could come here. We would be overpacked. And this is also a post 9/11 world. It's not just those cultures that are coming across the border. There's, you guys want Sharia law? Look at England. Look at Europe. What's going on over there? Their immigration law is being soft. They're losing their countries to cultures that don't even like them. They don't give a shit about national pride or anything. They want Sharia law, and if you don't convert to Islam, they have their Bible or Quran tells them they can do whatever they want to you. They can lie to you. They can kill you. Marry your daughter and do bad stuff to them. It's in their Quran. Read it. I don't make it up. It's okay to sleep with your cow. Get your heavenly filling from your vacas. And but when you go to sell it, don't sell it to your own village. Sell it to the village next to you. That's the kind of shit that's in the Quran. You want that? It's not just Mexicans. There's different cultures coming over here too. So there has to be a border. I don't make the rules. I don't make the lines. My Native Americans are over here saying, "Well, fuck all you all, man. We were here first. I love you guys." But I'm here. We're here. We're all gonna be neighbors. Ain't nobody going nowhere. So that was the kind of point to my whole social media. Breaking down barriers to all cultures. We're all neighbors. Let's all get along. And I did real good for a few years, and then the whole protester thing. Maybe I could have played it differently, but yeah, they fucked everything up. Fucking assholes. Get a job. Guys, all you do is fuck shit up. Sell your fucking 20-sack weed, stems and seeds in it. By the time you pick out the stems and seeds, little pinner sack, you step on the bolsa. Get a fucking real job. Taking a trip to Vegas next week? That place in Water Street, Henderson. La Tapa? Sushi Tapa? But they got a brewery in there. And it's a Chino Mexicana. They got really good sushi. You got local brewery beer. And really good service, the ambiance, everything. That's a really nice place. That's the place, Noche de Cita place. My favorite spot in Henderson. You got Cuevas Meat Market. On Henderson, the best chicharrones I ever had. Plus, they got a little cocina in there. You got a pupuseria right next door to that. I think she's from Salvadorania. She might be Mexicana, I forget. But she's got pupusas, some different stuff like that. But the Mexican part of town is East Vegas, North Town. You go over to Lake Mead, Cheyenne, Charleston, or not Charleston. Lake Mead, Cheyenne, Nellis, 45's up. That's where it's at. Pretty much every restaurant, taqueria, you don't miss over there. My favorite place for pollo asada or pollo mobile. I think I just made a video. There's a lot of names I forget, but some of the best food in the world in Vegas. Vegas has really good food, you guys. And not just that, the casinos, the prime rib buffets, the seafood buffets. And I really miss prime rib. I look forward to moving back to Vegas. It might be sooner than everyone thinks. I'm tired of the Meek Leo status over here in Louisville. I get a lot of love, but at the end of the day, I'm a white boy. It's been proven time and time again. Motherfuckers are sitting at home in the AC. I'm out here doing doble. Fort Sumner? Old Chevy Vortec. What's up, bro? I haven't seen you in a while. El Chivito himself, Billy the Kid. Wesley, California. Un catracho en la casa, Honduras. Chico. Greg Lopez from Michigan. Avondale. Well, I hit up Pete's on a Buckeye and like 14th area. Another hot spot, Fire Homeboy. There's over on Pete's on Buckeye. I have to remember that. Tacos El Gordo, Simon, Tijuana style. I didn't say how people can talk smack. A lot of mucho mexicanos, not mucho, it's kind of split. Tacos El Gordo is shit. They're just mags, you gotta stand in line. That place is so busy, the line goes out the door. And it's not picoso. It is kind of expensive, but it's good food, man. You get the trompo, some of the best trompo out there. A lot of stuff. The chorizo, tacos de chorizo. What is it? Campecheco or where it's mixed chorizo, carne asada, and pastor mixto. Man, that's the best over there. But Tacos El Gordo is the same thing in Tijuana. It's the same place. They just built a new one a few years ago. So there's some in on the other part of town. I hope they build one in Henderson too. But a lot of years I would stop. There used to be that dirt lot right next to it. Truckers would stop right there, but now they fenced it off a year or two ago. Morton's truck stops right across the street though. You can just park at Morton's, walk across the Tacos El Gordo. No, very good place. I'll be eating there when I visit Vegas. No, I'll be moving back to Vegas. Probably sooner than I think. Spread it around, Jefe. Don't treat me like a mayate, man. All you raza. I love you guys, but the Miklo status is getting on my nerves. Because the Gordo isn't bad. I'm talking about when I work for people. It is overpriced. It is expensive. Oh shit. What type of work is in Vegas? It's not a big freight town. It's more inbound. It's not much outbound. They do have an Amazon. They do have a lot of aggregate. It's the desert. A lot of belly dump work. Side dumps. The California combination with the end dumps. How you put one, you dump the one in your tractor, a straight truck, and then you back up to the other one. They call it the California combo, right? It's like a straight truck pulling another end dump. They got a lot of those. But other than that, not too much. Reynosa, Tamaulipas. Saludos. Oh, prior? Thank you, sir. Biscuit. Fried okra frito. You're just a hobbit. Steven Constante. There's lots of work. You could definitely find some over there. You know, Vegas. What I really want, if I have my way, it's a small Chiquito Corca. Excuse me. It's a small group, but the conventions, the trucks that do the conventions, and you camp there. You stage, it's like a campsite, and then when it's time to go in, at the beginning of the convention, and at the end, you go back in. And they make good money. A lot of it's union, but it's a small group. It's hard to get in that. Teamsters has a lot of influence in that too. I'm not willing. Maybe I should have done it a long time ago, because working for a union is really good. You get paid really good. You got benefits. They have your back. A lot of unions in Vegas. But you start from the bottom. It takes a few years to get up there. I wasn't willing to do that. You love Oregon? Me too. Eugene, Oregon. Saludos. A la distancia. What's that? Cesar? Thanks, bro. Gracias a mi nuevos seguidores. GTA 6 character? You know that truck simulator when that game came out? I made a video. I think they probably put a clip on it. People said they did, or I should have been, or something. A lot of gamers were taking that, but I made a video that went viral. with whites and Europeans. I played what the fuck was it? Anyways, it was outside of Kingman in the desert. I had a chicharron with the limon. The Ukraine war just popped off. And it went viral. Yeah, I can't think of the band right now. I'm loopy. But it was perfect. The clouds, it was perfect cinema. How I did it. I haven't made a better video. But that one blew up. Eastern Europe, there were soldiers. And I put the Santa Muerte, the rosary on there. There were Ukraine and Russian soldiers on the front lines watching my videos. I was really proud of that. They were facing death, and they seen that. It went viral in East Europe. It's pretty cool. Lord help me, I can't change. Freebird. Yeah, I played Freebird. And it was like a, patriotic. And a lot of people here, this is how we view America, just like this, free. Let's go. It's very cool, Michael Hargis. Were you on IG at that time? What's IG? Hold on, just let the fucking flies in, man. IG. Oh, Instagram. No, this was, it's already been 3 years, right? How long's the Ukraine war been going on? It was when it just popped off. Start building my profile for the drop of GTA 6. Do some dual numbers. I play the best of every music. I got so much Mexican nationals that I play some American, and the videos kind of bomb out. Hold on. I got that motherfucker. No más músico. I forget what we're talking about. Oh yeah, IG. I did that right after that. IG was good at had a good whatever you call it to make videos. I was really good at IG. It was just like TikTok, even better with some stuff. Really easy to make some Cheeto videos. But then the fucking political season took me out. Didn't take me out, but I sabotaged it. I deleted it. I didn't know that was half my audience. I'm not gonna kiss anyone's ass. Good afternoon. I didn't say the name. I scrolled up. Damn. Nakim? Yeah, I never did focus on politics, but I would make videos. Mexicans are my base. There's a lot of immigrants. Now it's grown into South America, Central America. So whenever, let's say Roger the Cubano, he was facing 99 years in the Rockies, accident, not murder. Remember that? I made a video on the talk. It went viral. The Guatemalteco, when the cop had a heart attack trying to arrest him, and they tried to blame him for murder. It's like, no, that's the cop being out of shape. He didn't fight him. He was resisting a little bit, but no. Bullshit like that. You try to protect the immigrants. And really, it's been pretty much almost everything but Mexican. I've been, Mexicanos are the minority of illegal immigrants over here. Guatemala, El Salvador, Costa Rica, maybe not Costa Rica, but Honduras, Colombia, a lot of countries down there. There's a lot more illegal immigrants in those countries than there are Mexicans. I've broke down that barrier, and I had their back. And these protesters, you fucked it up, man, in LA, in the parks of LA and Bakersfield. Shame on you. I'm still not happy about it. Fuck you. Chinese. Nice beard, thank you. GTA 6 character? Hey, Grand Theft Auto, what's up? My talk, I almost had 1 million, you guys. Between the social medias before I deleted them, I had 1 million. I'm surprised they didn't do anything, especially with the truck simulator video game. Maybe they did, I didn't know about it. But yeah, that'd be cool as hell, man. I think that would be the climax of me, all the work I've done. To have my character in a video game. That'd be fucking cool. Saludos, Juan. Bangkok? It's a good number, bro. Reading people's faces and what the cards were held their eyes. If you don't mind me saying, I can see you're out of aces for the drink of your whiskey. Use some advice. Handed him my bottle, even though I lost swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette for a light. And the game, boy, know to play it right. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. You're sitting at La Mesa. Fly better step deck. It's a good job, especially over here in the Orfo, one of the better holidays over here. El Clay. Hey, de nada, bro. Gracias por las culturas. How do I make it? I can't make someone do something. You would think Hollywood would have gave me a food show by now. That'd be unique. A trucker out there, you know, the crudo, the real deal, raw deal. Better than Anthony Bourdain and shit. You got a fucking American trucker, American as fuck, that can reach multiple races. And Hollywood, you fucked up. You're stupid. You could have had one of the best food shows on cable. No. You got these other guys over there, chupa the chorizo. They get it, I guess. I don't know. I'm not willing to do it. No wind. That's right, Bangkok. Unique person. Appreciate that, bro. Gracias por el capítulo. When the dealing's done, when the folding. Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton ruled the 80s. Nobody was bigger in the early, mid-80s. If you're a white boy, as a kid in the 80s, going to grade school, I graduated high school in 93, or I would have. So 90, 91, 92 was high school. So I grew up. I got lucky. One of the best times in American history to be a kid, the 80s and 90s and down. But Dolly Parton, if there was a girl in school that had any kind of malones, we called them Dolly Parton. And to every kid. You know, when you're a kid, you imagine a fully grown woman. And Dolly Parton was the shit. At least in small town America, if you're a white boy. Excuse me. And Kenny Rogers. He came out with Kenny Rogers Roasters in Kingman. I was living in Kingman at the time, early 80s, 82, 83. I remember when that first came out. You know, I don't think it only lasted maybe 5-10 years. I don't know if it's still out there, but Kenny Rogers was the shit. Him and Dolly ruled the 80s, at least the first half of the 80s. You grew up in the 90s and early 2000s? From Smithy, California. Class of 96, ole. Class of 84? Holy shit, Michael Hargis. You're a viejo. You're a kid in the 70s. No, good cartoons. They replayed all those cartoons from the 70s and 80s too. That was a good time to be a kid. Whoa. Gilligan's Island. Hold on. Gilligan's Island, Dukes of Hazard. Oh man, when I hear the Airwolf, the theme songs from the shows in the 80s. Airwolf. The Stuntman, what the hell is his name? The Bionic Man. And then he had that truck, that GMC truck, or Sierra Grande, or whatever it is. The Fall Guy. Man, those are good shows. And sorry, man, I'm getting full. And I knew those. I'd seen the theme song. The theme songs will get you excited. You don't see that too much anymore. In the 80s, they really focus on the theme songs. Knight Rider, Airwolf, Fall Guy. What are some of the other ones? But you know, the best show ever. The best show ever. The best family show. Wholesome. It had everything. Sit down as a family, all ages. Was God damn it, I'm brain dead right now. The Andy Griffith Show. We used to sit down as a family. It would be religiously. My parents were teachers in the summers. So at 12 o'clock when it came on, every day, we watch it as a family. Most wholesome show, it was about a cop. And in a small town in the dirty South, Andy Griffith. When cops sheriffs were for the community. You know, he's there not to bust people in the ass. He's there to, you know, protect his community. I respect that part of law enforcement, by the way. And his son Opie. That's why I always say, Yo Mas Blanco que Opie Taylor. When people say, are you Mexican? No, I'm white as they get. But man, that was a good show. And if you guys haven't seen it, do yourself a favor and check it out. It had life lessons in it. Deep, you know, stuff. Those shows back then were deep. A lot of stuff to be learned. But you know, God bless Andy Griffith. Well, you know, that dude was cool. That was a good ass show. You love Andy Griffith? It's still on MeTV. You know, MeTV. I've got spoiled with the Netflix and all that. But before, I've been in the oil field over here before. You don't have an antenna. That's all you get. You know, MeTV and the local antenna channels. I don't know if it's called MeTV, but they would show stuff like that. Andy Griffith, some of the older shows, and that night you see the X-Files. That's another thing. In the early 90s, was a jump. It advanced big time. You guys have no idea. When the Fox channel came out, that was cutting edge. And you started to see fights, like UFC type stuff. That was the first of it. First real TV. People doing it like in real life situations, you know. And then social media came after that. But X-Files, Married with Children. Being a kid, I was the same age as them. Same age as the boy. Remember Beverly Hills 90210? I was the same age as them when they started high school. And I really didn't get on that show. We did it just because everyone else did, you know. You had to keep up with the drama. But that was my age group. And what did I do a screenshot? Married with Children. That's another one we sit down as a family. Doesn't matter what age you were. And old Peg Bundy. Oh man, as a teenager, freshman, sophomore in high school, seeing Peg Bundy. Oh, she was hot. Didn't care about the blonde girl. Ooh, I wanted to see Peg Bundy. And then Al, let's go up to the bedroom. And I was like, oh no, honey, not again. It made her even hotter because you know she wasn't getting porked. But anyway, a full-grown woman as a kid, Peg Bundy, it was the shit. She still is. She's hot. X-Files is one of my favorite shows of all time. That was, whoever invented that was very smart. Remember Tales from the Dark Side? There were some other cool ones too. The early 90s and the 80s was the shit. I wasn't alive in the 50s, but I think the only other good time that could compare to that was the 50s. The golden age of America. First time we could afford AC, could I tell you? Remember swamp coolers? In the desert, we had swamp coolers. They don't work in humidity. They wouldn't, you know, people over here don't know about them. They work good in the desert, man. The trailers with the tires from the Mojave Desert wind, so your roof don't blow away. Put the tires on top of your trailer, and the swamp coolers. Oh man! And then you pour some more water in there. They get nice and cool. It'll be 122 degrees in Blythe. Turn on that old swamp cooler. Come on. Was that what diluted? It was made from the Riders of Breaker Bad? I didn't know that. Gracias, Maria. Enjoy your meal, but I am taking my time. Sorry, Hefe. You should only give me one load. Now the water's taking its time. Go ahead and fire me. I'm ready to go back to Vegas anyways. I'm not joking. Front wheelers was cheap. Yeah, it was. New things were expensive, like VCRs when they came out in the early 80s, right? VCRs are expensive, man, when they first came out. That was cutting edge stuff. Atari. The first video games to come out, was it Atari 2800 or something it was called? With Tetris, and not Tetris, but I forget the games, but that was old school. The old arcades. Hold on. You know, in the 70s was pinballs, and that was before my time. But you still had that going into the early 80s, but it wasn't like the 70s. The 80s, the first video games, arcades came out. Karate Champ. Yeah. You do the backflip over the guy and then kick him in the head. Joust. Dugout. What were some of the other ones? Centipede. And the best one of all, my favorite one of all time, Galaga. And you shoot him and then you get the ship and you got the two shooting the insect. Spaceship looking things. Galaga was my all-time favorite video game. And I would like to have one in my house. I'm going to buy my son one in Vegas for Christmas one year. Not some Walmart cheap one, some nice one. Yeah, they were expensive when they came out. I remember my dad got one. Remember when some movies that came out. I remember Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back. I seen them both in the theater as a kid. Indiana Jones was huge. Star Wars and Indiana Jones was huge in the 80s. That was, you guys have no idea. Star Wars, yeah, that was so big, it's coming around, it's recycled itself. Indiana Jones, I wanted to be an archaeologist when I grew up. It's because of Indiana Jones. And the Temple of all of them. And I seen them all in the theater. And mostly in Kingman, Arizona. Later on in the late 80s, we moved to Mojave Valley, Arizona. And you had Laughlin, the Riverside Casino. And they just opened a theater there. And I seen Big Trouble in Little China. That's my all-time favorite movie. That's what inspired me to be a trucker. Old Jack Burton, the Pork Chop Express. Dun 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 dun. Man, that Jack Burton. Mr. Burton. Shout out from Wichita, Kansas. A girl with green eyes. I'm not about to wait another 2,000 years. Flow State, I appreciate it, bro. In North Carolina, Colors, come on. Hold up, this guy did what? Porky's Revenge? My dad's movies. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to watch that in the 80s. The original Porky's, yeah. Glendale, California, let's go Timbo's, TWA. I saw a cassette player or radio the other day. I said, wow, the memories. Yeah, the old Walkman. Vince Gilligan found Bryan Cranston. Really? Oh, for breaking... no, Gilligan's Island, that was huge. Steep grade, up ahead, slow me down, making no turn. I keep a rolling. Windshield wipers slapping at a tenfold with the rhythm of the song on the radio. I keep a rolling. Ooh, I'm driving my life away, looking for a better way. For my phone's about to die, man. Damn it. Bring me the girl with green eyes, for I'm not about to wait another 2,000 years. Are ye crazy, Chan? Is that your problem? No, Jackie means it. She was just a baby. Waitress warm me up a coffee, pop me down, shoot me out, sitting down the highway. Something like that, I forget. Try to get them to turn it up, they wouldn't do it. David Espinosa, de Vallejo, saludos, bro. When they moved, well, they were ordering. That's the linea. I forget people around. Sometimes I get it complex. Sometimes I just get in the zone. I forget. I don't care who's around me. I just do the vivo. Alan, A2 college and education still don't help them. The 80s and 90s, Joel, some of them. You know, anyone else's mom whistle, you know, that's what time we would go home. You'd be out all day. If you were a pussy, if you stayed in the house, it didn't matter if you live in 120 degrees, Blythe, Needles, Boiled City, Kingman. You were out every day playing. And, you know, when I was real little, we lived way out there in Blythe. That's where I was born. You know, if you're going to Glamis, those 2 90-degree turns, and then you go off in the Glamis, the dunes. And that's where we lived. On one of those corners, there's 2 houses. That's where I grew up as a baby. And a little kid until I was like 6, then we moved to Arizona. But, by the way, I seen some rollovers as a kid. We got evacuated a few times, but I had no friends. Lived out in the middle of nowhere. There's a little village, I forget what it's called. The Rio Colorado River is right there. A little Mexican village. My parents were teachers, so she would call over there. I finally have enough. Mom, I have no friends, but so they call them over there. And I had toys, you know. They were kind of poor over there, you know, little trailers and stuff. And they were stealing my toys. My mom would tell me, hey, I seen like a kid, he just stole your toys. I didn't care. I wanted friends. You know, I'd come over and steal some more toys. You're a kid out in the middle of nowhere, no one to play with, no nothing. Fuck it, come steal some more cards. But I guess I've been accused with buying my friends. People have told me that a few times when I was growing up. I don't see it, but maybe there's something to it. But I remember as a kid, and it would scare the shit out of me, Kiss. The band Kiss, that was like 79, 80. That's one of my only memories. That show would come on late at night. They were kind of like Charles Bronson. They were vigilantes or something like that. They would go with the makeup and, it was kind of weird. I didn't like that show. It creeped me out. I was too small, I think. But Wizard of Oz is the most underrated movie, scary movie of all time. When you're a kid and you see those, little kid, and you see those monkeys, the witches, that green witch, and you see the monkeys flying through the air and they fly in and they're real monkeys. Yeah, that scared the shit out of me as a little kid, man. Wizard of Oz. That's another family movie we always watch. All ages can watch Wizard of Oz. That's a great American classic right there. You've heard that before? And then the scary movies as you get older a little bit in grade school. And sneak to the VCR place. Oh yeah, my parents said I can come get one over 18. Okay, go ahead. Rent some Freddy Krueger for it came out. Hellraiser. As a kid seeing Hellraiser. Oh man, that'll change your life. And Faces of Death. Remember when that first came out? Oh, yeah, that stuff will change your Change your whole life. First time you how much you making hauling sand? I don't haul sand, I do cement. I'm averaging over 2,000 a week. Some weeks I've got over 3, I've gotten almost 4. I've lost a step where I'd be making more. My colleagues, they make about a load more a week. They're in upwards of 3,000. I'm like close to 3. Mostly around 25. Blockbuster was cool. You know, late the 90s, Hollywood Video 10. Yeah. The mid 90s to early 2000s, Blockbuster, that was a family thing. Going in there, renting videos, you go with your family. And, excuse me. You get the popcorn, the candies. It's family movie night. And you could thank Redbox for that. And now social media, Netflix and all that, now Redbox is gone. So it's capitalism. Sorry. Damn it, excuse me. Pitchy capitalism. But times have changed, yes sir. You know, the thing about social media and smartphones, there's no face-to-face interaction like the personalities through a day. The characters you see on a daily basis going to do stuff or buying things or stores or whatever, you know, that's gone. It's disappearing. Now it's just social media. And no one's truly who they are in real life as they are in social media. I even have a character. People are going to start to blow up the topic. You had a car-shaped VHS tape rewinder. I remember those. You push the hood and it pop up, or the trunk or whatever. Another one, E.T. That was huge. And Reese's Pieces, you could be grateful for E.T. Everyone was eating Reese's Pieces for years after that movie. E.T. was the shit. Another one as a kid was Goonies. The Pirates. The Goonies is one of my all-time. I can still watch it as an adult. I love that show, that movie. And some more. The early 90s, Terminator, it was good, you know. But when Terminator 2, that's probably the only sequel that was better than the original. All time. When Terminator 2 came out, I saw that in Bullhead City at the theater. Between 8th grade and freshman year. And I seen it that summer. And Terminator 2, it took the movies made a jump in special effects and all that stuff. It made a first huge jump, and that was cutting edge stuff, Terminator 2. I remember being a little kid, a virgin, and that scene where that guy licks her face, she's on the table, and he goes, and licks her face, and everyone's like, ugh. And I said, what? I said out loud, I said, what? I do the same thing, and the whole theater started laughing. I was a little kid. I wasn't a kid, I was junior high age. Anyways, you had to be there, it was funny. The newspaper, yeah. Cubale, Carlos? Timbos on the race in California, we miss you. Timbos y La Raza and Califas, Te Extraño. Palmdale, San Bernardino, Sao Perez. Igualmente, carnal. Y Frio Trailer, otra vez, un más año aquí. Soy petrolero, but we'll hit that produce camino otra vez. Camino de 5, the 101, 97, 95, 93, 80, 90, puro West Costa Produce. Yuma también, La Frontera. So, Alcanza, you know. But give me, not even a year, but it'll be less than that. If I don't start getting some respect, I'm just going to go back to Vegas. Just go do it a lot sooner. probably even before the end of summer. I love the Rasa. I'm tired of being the Mikleo when it comes to working for. They have their go. I'm the last. You know, they like me and they put up with me. I'm not perfect either, but I'm tired of the Mikleo shit. Double work, doing this, you know, and you never really get your respect. It seems like, you know, I'm just not Rasa. No disrespect, but that's been my experience as far as having a holly or a relationship. And in some things, you get treated as a guest, but you know you get it better than the regular Rasa. So I guess it's a double-edged sword, being a white boy exploring in the Western Cultura. But everything has been a good experience. But that's just, you know, I'm just talking about working for a Mexican, and they're good people. I'm not saying they diss me, but yeah. Right now, my colleagues, I was tired as fuck. They're sitting in their AC right now. I begged hey man, I'm tired as fuck. I struggled coming back from East Texas yesterday. I still delivered earlier, even though I got chewed out for being late. And he didn't deliver till this morning. I delivered last night. How did that happen? If there's a will, there's a way to deliver over there. But I'm not talking smack. I'm just making a point. And then they get one load. Now they're sitting in the AC. I get 2 loads. And one of them even got a high and paying load. It's easier work. And I'm tired of the hand-fed shit. Me being the Miklo, and this is the second company in a row. And then I get frustrated and go prove them right, you know, go get a bolster or something and show my ass, you know, and prove them right or whatever. But yeah, I'm getting tired of it. What's up, dude? Antonio? Bien. Just trying to stay out of trouble. Greatest of all time. Come on. San Fernando Califas. If I do it now, I won't regret waiting. I forget what was said. I'm still the GOAT? Or I'm in Seminole, Texas. No Menudo Ahora. We're gonna do some Texas barbecue over at Dickey's. It's a chain, but it's for a chain. He's got some pretty damn good. It is Panzano. It is Texas Hill Country style. The ribs are pretty good. Next time I'm not even gonna get the rest of it. I'm just gonna get a plato de ribs. That's why I keep money in the bank. Going through divorce
Sorry, can you repeat that?
and the separation in the court. I haven't done that the past few years. But I'm trying to keep stuff off paper. But yeah, you're right. What's up, dude? Copa Chivo. You ever seen Received Hate, Samuel? Not really. I expected some. I expected a lot. They don't come at me or diss me really. They just don't have anything to do with me. It's like they kind of just like distance themselves. And I had a lot of truckers. I was in that redneck clique when I first started TikTok before I took off with the Rasa. Arsum 64 stuck with me. There's a couple rednecks, crackerhead truck drivers. And by the way, God bless Arsum's family if you're on here. No, that was pretty sad. I learned that a few weeks ago that he died. I'm a little late in the news, but that dude was a badass. That was an old school crackerhead, classic CB redneck voice. That was a good dude. You know, he was fair to all races. He's from Texas. But rest in peace, Arsum. But yeah, they didn't really come at me. A couple of them said, "Man, you Mexican too much. I'm out of here. I followed you for years," and you know, it made me feel bad. I look back. Maybe I beat the Paisa drum too hard. I got a little carried away for a few years. My dad's about to die. I don't want him dying thinking I'm a wannabe Mexican. You know, I value what he thinks of me. Very proud of my dad. He's an old school redneck from the 50s. He's not a redneck, but other people would call him that. And, I'm very proud of that. You know, grew up as a kid in the 80s. He's always in the garage polishing his bass boat. Listen to old Rush Limbaugh before anyone knew who Rush Limbaugh was. I'm very proud of that. But maybe I regret some of the things on the TikTok when I had that many people. Getting a little carried away with it. That I shunned some of the whites, a lot of the whites away. They never really came at me, but they just kind of like distanced themselves. But the youth, I don't know what they think, but I was still looking back on it. It's like, man, even the white boys, young white boys, looking at me saying, "God damn, even our own people don't like us anymore." I felt bad about that. And when I came back and reopened the TikTok, I know this is YouTube. I'm just saying, I have that in mind. And I include everybody. Yeah, I still, we can all Mexican together. But before, I would call out my own race, the faults of my own race, trying to change it, pumping up the Rasa with theirs, with their strengths, and I did that a little bit too hard. I think. I'm proud of breaking down barriers, being a buffer between the races. I did a lot of good there, but I shunned some of at the cost of some whites, and that bothers me a little bit. But anyways, never forget where you come from. That's right, Alan. That's right. From Bridia is Corita Palmdale, California. I'll remember you, and Timbos. WFG, thank you, Chivo. From Bridia, La Corita Palmdale, Califas. Del Lonchera. You met me. You came to the pilot, right? Was that you? Hold on. Man, go on TikTok or Facebook and message me. Give me your number again. I think that's you. I remember. Because you guys came up and showed up and gave me a shirt or a hat, a cachucha, or something. Brought me some food. Yeah, you brought me some food. And I did that video on the side step of my tractor. And then I think the next day or the day before I went to that lonchera. But take extraño, you guys. Palmdale. That's pretty cool. Palmdale's pretty big. It's growing up to be a big town. It's hard not to break barriers when Mexican ladies treat you great. You guys want me to tell you my experience of that? The last two treated me real good. They're older. Doesn't matter what race you are. When you get a certain age, I don't get along with blacks, which is too different. But an older black guy or a black guy my age, yeah, hell yeah. When any race reaches a certain age, the bullshit kind of fades away. You're a little more humble. I get along with everybody. The cultures really stand out. The differences mean something when you're younger. But a younger Mexicana, I would not mess with them. Especially first generation American Mexicans. They have attitude. They think they're the shit. I don't know what's going on in Mexico, but when they move over here, I don't know, they get treated like shit in Mexico, and they come here and they get a little spoiled, and now, now they're more mouthy to the men. I don't know if that's the reason. I never lived in Mexico, but they've got some attitude, and they stick their nose up to me. But the older women, they're very nice, very polite. Everyone's been very respectful. I've dated 2 paisanas and at least 2 Chicanas I've had relationships with in the past 6 years. The one from Jalisco, different culture. She barely knew English. Hold on. There's a whole place. Cool. You guys gotta come sit right next to me. I'm still a little grumpy, I guess. You get the women from a different country are a whole different breed. They're very respectful. We're very polite, and she wasn't perfect, but that was a real nice experience. That was true cultura mexicana. Unhalia sensei, and the hecho de mano maíz, la comida, and the problem is you don't 100% vibe with the race to another race. It's a different culture. Maybe that's my problem. I don't know. But being with white girls or someone from my race, you know, you sabe more. You must sabe. You know, it was very nice exploring. This last one at Hobbs, a very good. That was an awesome experience. I learned a lot. And she was fully Americanized. I think she was born in Juarez, Juaritos, or out just outside of there. Her mom, mi suegra, doesn't know any English. Hope she's recovering with her hip thing. But that was a very good experience. I learned a lot from the past two relationships. My problem is, you know, the younger Latinas just aren't for me. They're very beautiful, man. They're so morenitas, hermosa. They're very beautiful. Chaparitas y más. The most beautiful women in the world, but they're just not for me. They're just too much attitude. I don't. And being a white boy, maybe they think white boys are soft. I don't know. I don't know. I can't explain it, but they're not for me. But white girls, look, I got a special guest coming, flying in the Midland. I'm gonna keep it a secret. I'm not gonna run my mouth, but just wait. I'll tell you more in Friday night. I think you guys will all be surprised. Teresa, we talked about the difference. There is a difference. And you got Mexico and American. And even though Chicanos are Mexican Americans, that's a different culture than Mexico. Two different cultures. And it's a different culture than whites in America. So, you know, Mexicans and whites are very compatible. I believe they're the two most compatible races. And if it can work, it'll be between Mexicans and whites. But it is different. You know, and the big hug, Chivo. Attack ACAB. What's that? ACAB. Got me in that one. It's all awesome, yeah. Look, I haven't had any bad experiences in past relationships, but there's things that I didn't like. Chicano. And I'm sure Mexico's not too different. They have family members living with them. You can never have any privacy. Whites, it's a different story. When you're 18, they kick you out of your house, go explore the world. And, you know, of course, they'll let you come back, you get in a bind or whatever, for a short time. And then they'll say, hey, dude, you've been here a couple months, you save enough money, get the fuck out of here. You know, Mexicans are different. They always have a son living with them, or a daughter, or grandkids, or something. So you never fully have privacy. I didn't like that. I like to walk out in my underwear, scratch my balls, stand there and fart while I'm watching TV, you know, while I'm waking up and shit. You know, you can't do that with Mexicans. You know, you'll be disrespecting their family. You know, that's why I moved out of the last one. And she was a good woman. That was a good family over there. Nothing personal. Teresa, yeah. Ribs, coleslaw. That's right. Okra. Some coleslaw. The ribs are real good. The biscuit wasn't one of the shittiest biscuits I ever had. Some of the best ribs I've had, as far as a chain of barbecue goes. You know, Rudy's over there in San Antonio. They built some over here too, El Paso, Phoenix. Very good hill country style. It's not the best, you know, it's not high-end places like you see in Austin or Blacks in the original Blacks. Now, Blacks is growing into a chain. The best sausage you ever have is Black's Barbecue. People used to go to that town. I forget the name. My phone's about to die. It's at 1%. El Paso is closing for the off-ramp to Amazon. Yeah, my phone's about to die. Al rato me hit there. Listen here, I gotta go pick up another load. And, I needed a break. I needed to sit in the AT for a while. So, damn, the Rudy's is closing. If you guys ever go to Rudy's in other places, get burning brisket and smother it with the sauce.